Risk management is controlling financial and personal injury losses from sudden, unforeseen, unusual accidents and intentional torts. Not only does this prevent legal liability, but it helps maintain and deliver a quality program. Good and detailed plans include how to control risks and a rationale for why the steps need to be followed. Three important parts of risk management are developing, implementing, and managing and measuring the plan. The risk I encountered occurred back on January 11, 2017. After an earlier snowstorm, the snow froze into a sheet of ice that evening that covered all of campus and the surrounding areas. No matter how careful you were, it made walking nearly impossible. While it provided entertainment for some, a serious injury easily could have happened. When the morning came around, the conditions were still just as icy. The Penn State operations team and administrators claimed they'd put down enough salt and did not cancel class for the day. This put students, professors, and administrators in a great risk as they were trying to walk and drive onto campus. I could not even walk down the slate hill outside my dorm without falling. If someone would have injured or died, President Barron would have been liable because the administration makes the decision of canceling class and he is ultimately in charge of the administration. Here is the risk management plan that I would have put together. A comprehensive risk management plan includes identification, evaluation, treatment, and implementation. First, for risk identification. As a manager, to properly handle a risk and set a plan in place, I first have to identify what kind of risk the situation is. I decided that it would be a public liability caused by negligence due to the information I have. This includes accidental injuries to participants, including death. This is most appropriate because the participants are university students and employees. By not canceling class, we would not purposefully or intentionally injure someone, but accidental injuries could occur. I know this could happen because it has occurred in the past. There is precedence for it. In 2016, and hours before Penn State called a snow day, there were such bad accidents on I-99 and I-80 that police had to close both. This could reasonably happen again if we didn't cancel class. The next step is risk evaluation. When evaluating a risk, I've decided it is not good to just hope that nothing bad will happen. The two primary elements to consider when evaluating risk is the frequency it happens and the severity of what could occur. In this case, weather forcing the school to shut down happens infrequently. There's been less than 10 snow days at Penn State in the past 20 years. However, the severity of the risk is high. Someone could easily severely hurt themselves or even get killed by slipping on ice. Students and faculty that commute could also get in a serious car accident on the way because the areas and roads all around campus were iced over. This is common because 800 students die a year driving to class in the snow, per Syracuse researchers. As the manager making the decision, these two factors would make me evaluate the risk as severe and not worth taking the chance. I would cancel class with this information. I'm aware that some people may call me too cautious because it could heat up later in the day, but I firmly believe that the pros outweigh the cons in this risk and that canceling class would be best. The third step, risk treatment. You have four main strategies you could take: avoid the risk, transfer it, retain the risk, and reduce the risk. I would choose to avoid or close the risk by canceling class and shutting down all activities on campus except for those absolutely necessary. We had already tried to reduce the risk by salting the property and preparing for the snow. This obviously did not work because it was still dangerously icy. The only way I can see avoiding serious injury or death commuting is to stop the commuting itself. At this point, we want as many people off campus as possible and to keep the roads clear. For risk implementation, I already have two committees set in place to assess the risk of the weather. The student-run campus weather service and the university weather team will continue to monitor the weather as they always have. I will give them the authority to make a decision on whether they think classes need to be canceled or not. I will always weigh their opinion heavily, but ultimately I will make the final decision, but I will normally go with their opinion. A printed guideline of what type of weather should cause class to be canceled will also be given to all administrators that play a factor in the decision. This will outline what conditions will automatically cancel class and streamline the decision-making process. We will continue to update and reassess this outline based off different experiences or finding. We will communicate our plan to the rest of staff and all of campus through PSU text alert. Obviously, putting together a risk management plan is a complicated process that takes in multiple factors and decisions. While the plan may not be perfect, it is well thought out and will continue to be improved upon like any good risk management plan.